Back to our Go Red for Women broadcast special. Joining us now is the Go Red for Women Luncheon Chair for Dallas, Jane Geis. Is that correct?
That's correct. We said good.
And so, Jane, tell us about, we've got a luncheon coming up in Dallas on Friday, and then you have two others that are coming up as well. This is always a fun event. I went to one in Fort Worth, I think year before last, and I found it to be very uplifting. You always have interesting speakers.
We do. So Dallas, the luncheon is this Friday, the 6th. It's at the Omni, and we have Charlotte Anderson-Jones and Jerry Jones will be speaking. And Charlotte will be focusing on how she deals with stress in her job and how she stays healthy and with all the pressures that she has.
You know, which I'm so glad to hear, especially now that we've heard Darren's story about, you know, perfectly healthy, 40 years old, fit, and has a heart attack that's completely stress-related, and she has such a stressful job.
Yes.
And we also know that heart disease affects women so violently. So that'll be really nice to hear her share her tips.
Absolutely. And this is what these luncheons are for. It's dedicated solely to all the funds that we raise from our luncheons is for the research and awareness and education of heart disease risks and education, research for women, solely for women. So this was what makes this event so special.
You know, and I think that we're used to the spotlight being on breast cancer and research for breast cancer and different sorts of cancers. And for some reason, we don't seem to take seriously that heart disease is the #1 killer of women, isn't it?
It is. Let me tell you, it's a #1 killer, topping all cancers combined. Heart disease will kill a woman first. So it's something that we really need to pay attention and listen up and get the facts about.
Yeah. Do we have any idea what the breakdown is for women who are affected by, you know, something that they're born with, or, you know, some sort of heart disease that they're aware of, and or the stress-related type of heart disease that comes out of nowhere?
I'm not so sure. That probably would be a question better answered by a doctor. But I can tell you, in my own experience, I come from a family, every woman, my grandmother, great-grandmother on down, to my daughter, we all have heart issues. This is why I'm involved in this, because, you know, I knew about it and I knew to stay on top.
So much of it is genetic.
Absolutely, for me, and also because it does run through the family, I knew. But if you don't have a history, it probably doesn't occur to you to even think about it.
No, and I'm exactly the woman you're talking to.
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
46 years old, relatively healthy from all accounts, from blood work and physicals. I don't have any heart disease history in my family. But I'll tell you something, just here this morning on the show, like hearing Darren's story about the stress-related heart attack, I'm scared. I'm scared into awareness, I guess is a good way to put it.
Well, I think the good news is listening to the good doctor tell you that our symptoms among women are different. We don't have the crushing, typically the chest pain and what have you. It will be the jaw, the lower back, you're nauseous and what have you. Those are the things that we really need to get out, and this is what these luncheons do. We focus on the women and the men, people who support us, so they all know what to look for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk just a little bit more about this event specifically on Friday? And so Charlotte will be there, and her father, Jerry Jones, as well. And she'll be talking specifically about how she avoids stress, or I'm sure they're going to share some interesting stories.
Let me tell you why they're coming first. So the Heart Association asked me to chair, and then they wanted my husband to chair with me. So we had a husband-wife team, which is very new and unique. So we kind of wanted to follow that theme with Jerry and Charlotte in the family. Without giving away so much, of course, it's the father supporting his daughter, who has a very stressful job. And yes, you can look forward to hearing how she handles stress in her life. What does she do? She exercises. I can't tell you what she does yet, what she eats and how she does, and also takes care of her family. And this is what you can look forward to hearing from Charlotte.
And will there be other stories shared as well about survivors? Because I'll tell you, that's the one thing that really touched me when I went to the luncheon, is listening to these women share their stories that are no different from a cancer survivor, no different from a survivor of any sort of tragedy or any sort of disease. Really beautiful stories about overcoming.
We do. Yeah. We do. Right before our Open Your Heart campaign in the Circle of Red and Men Go Red, we will have a survivor story who will just touch your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a wonderful lunch as well. You always serve up
There's
great
a wonderful lunch. Not only that, we have screenings. Texas Health Resources is doing screenings for glucose, blood pressure, BMI, cholesterol, tips on how to keep these in check, but you can get those screenings done. We have healthy cooking demonstrations. We are having health sessions as well. So lots to do.
This is
learning.
The place to go if you want to learn, if
Absolutely.
you need to become aware. And let me tell you, as women, we all need to be more aware. Thank you so much, Jane.
You are so
And good
welcome.
luck with the event.
Thank
I know it's going to be fabulous.
Thank you.
Okay, and the topics that we've covered today, we've had so many of them. The luncheons, we've spoken to cardiologists, all sorts of good information for you. And you can go to goredforwomen.org to get even more information, especially if you have questions, which I'm sure you do after today's show. And we are back with more broadcasts next.
Thank you.